A property developer who made hundreds of thousands from his double life as a drug dealer is caught hilariously running away from a reporter outside of court. Matthew Cleary, 35, and his accomplice Mikel Kujtila, 33, are believed to have made more than £320,000 from a cannabis drug operation in Cardiff. But following his hearing at Cardiff Crown Court, rather than speak with a Wales Online reporter about the decisions, Cleary can be seen legging it at full pace away from the scene. The court heard how police unearthed his drug ring business in December 2022 and that both have since been handed 32-month jail terms for conspiracy to supply cannabis. Cleary has also been ordered to pay back less than a sixth of the money he made from the illegal activities within 3 months. In a proceeds of crime hearing, prosecutor Roger Griffiths said Cleary had benefited to the tune of £323,962 from his crimes, but that the recoverable amount was only £52,174. Police had attended Coppleston Road in Llandaff North in June 2022 and had discovered a significant amount of cultivation equipment in the living area. Kujtila had keys for a VW Caddy, a BMW 3 Series and a Mercedes van, where officers found more than 17 kilo of cannabis in vacuum packed bags and Albanian passports for gardeners at drug grows in the area. Police examined Kujtila's phones and linked the messages to Cleary, who was stopped by officers who found further indications of cannabis grows in his Range Rover and at his home. The prosecutor said the home had a high-spec finish and was lavishly decorated with a digital media system installed in the bathroom and a large flat-screen TV in almost every room. He loved golfing at the Algarve's posh Monterey Club and had accumulated a collection of high-end clothing, expensive trainers, luxury watches, and there were also plans for the installation of a swimming pool. However, his wealth wasn't solely derived from his property business, which he later confessed only brought him around $35,000 annually. They discovered texts Cleary had exchanged with Kujtila discussing deals which in total referred to some 90 kg of the drug. One incriminating text from Kujtila stated, "The boss has people with guns at night." This message was presented by the prosecution as an indication that Kujtila was entangled in an organised crime group with access to firearms. However, Judge David Wynn Morgan expressed his scepticism, stating, "There is no evidence of anything like shootouts in the street." Overall, officers discovered 8 cannabis factories in and near Cardiff, including Aberystwyth Street, Cafes Terrace, Lantrisant Road, Cowbridge Road East and Roll Street. One of the farms was at Pontypridd High Street building with 6 growing rooms. Hundreds of cannabis plants were found across the sites and a total of 40 kg of the drug was seized during the investigation, said Mr. Stanway. Cleary, who had managed to avoid any prior run-ins with the law, initially claimed innocence, suggesting he had unwittingly picked up a box filled with drugs at a friend's lockup. Despite his initial defence, Cleary eventually admitted guilt to the charge of conspiring to supply cannabis. Kujtila also admitted the conspiracy. His barrister, Cole Vole, said, "He has no relevant convictions. His wife lives in London and he has a child living with his first wife. He came to the UK in 2007 in the back of a lorry and paid £9,000 for that service. He was initially working for an employer in gardening services but was paid very little and had no documents. At that stage, the people who trafficked him into the country got in touch and encouraged him to pay off the debt by working in construction. He went with them and it turned out construction was actually cannabis grows." Cleary actually cried as his barrister Matthew Roberts spoke on his behalf. For a variety of reasons he became trapped in the culture of cannabis, initially as a low-end user. Following the passing away of a close friend in 2020 and a very serious car accident he had in 2021, there was an ever-increasing reliance on cannabis and getting a better quality of cannabis. Mr. Roberts added that his client was hard-working and ran a property management company with 6 subcontractors. He is keen to rebuild his life as soon as possible, said the barrister. He has seen firsthand the damage cannabis has done to him and his relationships. The risk of reoffending is low. Judge Morgan said the pair's role in the operation was significant rather than leading. He added, "The 2 men in the dock are not all the people who ought to be in the dock. Those sophisticated criminals who organise these cannabis factories very rarely appear in the dock. They take steps to make sure others take the risks of inevitable custodial sentences that follow from this illegal activity. In this case, we have someone who came to this country under the auspices of wicked people and found himself obliged to work for them. On the other hand, we have an individual who became addicted to cannabis and found a way to obtain more cannabis and benefit from the sale of cannabis." The judge said the case could be described as tragic, but added that the illegal trade of cannabis is a scourge that creates degradation and misery. He sentenced Cleary and Kujtila to 32 months in prison each.